Well, I'm coming from a different place today. We'll have a change of scenery. I'm sat in the kitchen, and that's the serving hatch that we had a window put in instead, so that when the children were little, I think I've told you before, when I was in the kitchen, I could look through and make sure they were all right if they were playing. And that's what I did. You know, you can see all the different things. There's a cabinet that came out of a shop. It's just a glass display cabinet. You'd probably sell cakes in it or pies, and that's to keep my bread in and cake and different pickles, and also crackers as well. So yeah, there you can see my favourite biscuits. We take those in the car with us. I've always got several packets in because I love them. The Nairns mint chocolate biscuits, they're like an oat biscuit, and they've got very tiny little bits of chocolate, not a lot, so you don't get it all over your hands. Right, I've gone off at tangents as well. I thought I'd just have a look at this Romany recipes. There they are, look, going to Appleby Fair. I've been to Appleby Fair many years ago, and I'll tell you a bit of a funny story. The travellers, well, when I was little, they were always called gypsies. They always used to take their horses to Appleby, and they still do, and they do a bit of horse trading. And so they always prepared the horses and made sure they looked okay. Well, they used to wash them in the stream, and they used to use fairy washing up liquid to clean them. And somebody asked one of the lads, oh, it's a lovely clean horse. How have you kept it so clean? What do you clean it in? And he said, I use fairies. So, somebody just laughed and said, I don't believe in fairies. So it was so funny. It did make me smile. And another thing about that particular day, at the time we'd got a Whippet Greyhound cross dog, and she was a lovely dog. She looked such a lovely dog, and we had several offers. They wanted to buy her, so that made me laugh as well. She was a very good dog. She was very fast at running. I used to take her every day, and I had some times with her because if she smelt a rabbit, she was off. It was just in the breed. Anyway, going off at tangents again. There's lots of different recipes in here. There it is, look. If you can hear creaking, it's this chair. Romany recipes, and it says in the front, I'm fortunate to be in the position of embracing two richly diverse cultures. My Romany roots forged my beginnings, and later life has brought me new challenges and frequently takes unexpected directions. My family left the roads when I was about 5, only returning to our nomadic roots for a couple of months each summer. Nowadays I've settled in Brick, at least for the winter season, though between the rise and fall of the leaf, from late spring to late summer, the call of the wild grows too strong, and I live outside. We are fortunate in having a small holding with 5 acres of woodland where I can make camp, cook and eat, sleep under the stars. The old habits are too ingrained to relinquish altogether. On the other hand, computers, baths and toilets are the unsung temples of convenience of modern life, so to speak, and not to be given up lightly. I originate from Surrey. I've travelled widely over the years, but the fenland landscape is where I now live. It's where I feel settled. Both my grandparents passed on their skills to me. From one I learnt the art of duckering, fortune telling, and from the other the many uses of herbs. Further back, my grandmothers were both healers and wise women. Both delivered babies into the world and prepared the bodies of the dead for leaving of it. I've done these in my time too. Various other family members have been horsemen, gamekeepers and metalworkers. Some have kept up the traditions of smithying. My father, for instance, worked in metal for many years. From all of these I've learnt the Romany patois, which is a language spoken by the few Romany people these days. I've used a little of it in the recipes where I've felt it's appropriate and helpful. Isn't that lovely? That really is lovely. There's quite a little bit more. I might read that another day, but absolutely lovely, it really is. There's all different types of recipes, and there's one here called Sama, and there's the picture, look, and it says a breezy breakfast. Let's look at that. Yeah, so that looks good. And the recipes have got the little backstories. That's something that I have made before. Rowan jelly, rowan berries, string from their stalks, 2 or 3 firm apples peeled, cored and chopped into small pieces. Red crab apples are ideal. 7 pints of water, 6 white whole cloves, a few juniper berries, sugar, a handful of mint leaves can be added if desired, and I've done that as well. I've put the mint leaves in. I've also made crab apple jelly with mint leaves as well. What I used to do, because I used to do a lot more of it, was I used to cook all the crab apples down into, till they all went soft. And they were usually red crab apples. I've got a crab apple tree in the garden, and when I pass away, I'm having I'm going into a peace garden, and you're not allowed to put any decoration on the top, just a tree, and I'm having a crab apple because I do love them. Right, this is a bit dusty underneath, but this is what I used to use for making my crab apple jelly. It was a case of using what you'd got. So a stool turned upside down, you put your bowl in the bottom, you put your muslin or cloth on the top. I used to put it on the top loosely, put 4 elastic bands on, elastic band on each corner, and then I'd put the pulp and the juices carefully in the top when it had cooled, and the bowl underneath would catch all the juices, and then I would cook the juices up again and put plenty of sugar in, and that turned into lovely crab apple jelly. And what I used to do with that was, if I was making a casserole, I'd put a good dessert spoon of that in with it. And I can remember making some a stew for a friend, and they said, what's in it that's it's making it really nice. And I explained that that's Dad done. Anyway, just a little bit of random. Another thing I was going to show you was some of these wooden fruits that I've got that I've had for a long time. So that's another one, look. I love anything like this. Things that are a bit unusual. There, look how nicely that's made. They all want cleaning really. But hey, what's a bit of dust between friends? A nice pair. No comment. There, look. Don't know what that was supposed to be. And some wooden apples of different sizes. And of course, it wouldn't be me without a fair cone. So, that's about it. Thanks for watching. And I hope you all have a lovely day. Lots of love.